of developing cardiovascular disease.
Cut.
Type 2, take 2.
Action.
You've been diagnosed with a new purpose, to fight for the amazing life you made for yourself, to look that risk of heart disease square in the face and say, no, not me. You've been given a new opportunity to live. Get started at NoDiabetesByHeart.org.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Memphis's only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen Small Bites. Now, here's your host, Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. It's a beautiful Friday in the Mid-South. And I mean, it is absolutely beautiful out there. And man, you know what we have going on this Sunday, don't you? The super duper big game. I'm so excited about this. We have Joe Cool. We have Matt Stafford. We have a couple coaches that know each other extremely well. The road to the playoffs for both teams has been unbelievable. The way the Rams went on there and beat up on Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, the way they took care of business. They almost fumbled it away last week at the very end, but Matt Stafford, big throw to Cooper Kupp. Rams have been living big. You got the Joe Burrow Bengals that are living really big. And we're going to talk about the big game with one of my good friends, and that, of course, is Russell Copeland. We got a huge show. We got him for an hour. We're going to break down everything when it comes to the big game, what it was like when he played in the big game. We're going to get some insight. We're going to get in depth. Any questions you have for Russell, do me a favor. Hit me up at the AutoZone texter listener line, 901-360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And guess what? We'll have those questions answered. But Cope, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, Johnny. I'm excited about this weekend and just looking forward. Just so many storylines, so many different matchups, and for me personally, the division round and the championship round, to me, was probably the best playoffs that I've ever seen. Just some great games. When you look at it, in particular, there's 4 games that we could be talking about something totally different. It could have went either way. So when you look at both of these teams playing, I think that's why it has been so difficult for not only myself, but everyone to pick who's going to win this game. So I'm just looking forward to chopping it up with you today, man.
Man, and we are actually going to make a pick, finally. I've been back and forth. I know people that have been listening to me all week long think I'm a little bit schizo because I'm like, oh, Rams, they got this bad boy. And then I'm like, wait a second. You go back and you look at that second half, the way the Kansas City's defensive front, they couldn't get any pressure on Joe Burrow, which was shocking the way the Titans got pressure on him. But it doesn't matter. It seems like if you hit this kid, if they block for him a little bit, he always finds his receivers in Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Boyd. It's a fascinating thing to watch. And I think that defense is extremely underrated. But we're going to chop it up, like I said. Hit us up with the AutoZone text and listener line. What we got going on today at 11:20, we will do a Winter Games update. Any new Winter Games news, Jake? Jay?
Yeah, there was a gold medal in something last night. Well,
was it Jake? Was his name Jake?
I don't think so.
I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking about Jake from State Farm.
I don't know. But I think, it's getting go. Sean White did something last night. It was a pretty good night.
So you actually watched none of it?
I have no idea.
Very proud of you, sir. Very proud of you because make sure you get those Winter Olympic updates for us. Again, we got one at 11:20. Me and Cope are going to cut it up. We're going to talk about everything about this coaching matchup, which you got a lot of young people, to what's going on in the field. I got some weird news today. Of course, we do a little bit of Hardwood today. We'll do that after Lee Sterling joins us at noon. Then, of course, we have T-Money and Uncle Brasky to come in and close out this show. But, Cope, I want to just jump into it because, again, this is the last show before the super-duper big game. And first and foremost, I got to, look at these two coaches. The sexy people are like the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, all these guys you want to talk about. But when you look at these two coaches, They know each other so well, it's not even funny. They're both, by the way, so dead-gum young. In fact, it's the youngest matchup in Super Bowl history for two coaches. But, I mean, they grew up under the same tree. At one point, my man Taylor was the quarterback coach for the Rams when they went to the big game with Jared Goff. So it helped lead him to get the Bengals job. Which coach do you think, as much as they know each other, do you believe that either one of these have an advantage? Or do you think this is just going to be a rock fight because two guys know each other so well?
Honestly, Johnny, I think it's a push. When you look at Sean McVay and you look at Zach Taylor, both of these understand the offense, but it's Sean McVay's offense. And Zach Taylor had to learn under him. But it's not going to be about them. It's going to be about the defenses. Which one of these defensive coordinators can understand what the other offense is trying to do? When you look at Raheem Morris and you look at Cincinnati, both of these defensive coordinators see both of these offenses every day. But you're going to look at who's going to be first down efficient on first down. Who can get the other offense in second and third? So ultimately, I think it's going to come down to the trenches. It's going to come down to the big guys because it looks very good when you look at the quarterbacks and you look at the wide receivers. And I'm a wide receiver. So, of course, you want to see the big plays. You want to see the showboating. You want to see that that's what the Super Bowl is about. But it's going to start in the trenches. And whichever one of these defensive coordinators can get pressure, can get third and long, can make one of the quarterbacks have an issue early on in the game.
One of those middle lapses where all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got, you're out there, you're reading your defense, your offense is, going and rolling, but yet it's going to be the defense that can make that big play. But when you also talk about these two coaches knowing each other, I was looking up some stats, the next-gen stats situation. How alike are these two teams? Rams used 11 personnel 83% of the time. The Bengals 77% of the time. That's number 1 and 2. Plus, they both came out in trips at number 16 and 14. They do so much that's so deadgum similar. It's going to be kind of actually wild. And I'm wondering if, like you said, every single day these guys go up against this type of offense in practice and they work on it. Do the Rams, because they have the bigger names, have the advantage on the defensive side?
I don't necessarily think they have the advantage just because they have the names. I think how they run their defense going against particular offenses gives them the advantage. Because when you look at Aaron Donald, he takes up two guys.
Full-grown man.
A man among men.
Among men, yes.
And if you look at how he plays and you look at his build, he's not 6'6", he's not 6'5", he's probably about 6'1", 6'2", but he is very compact, he's quick, he's fast. So if you get two offensive linemen, now you have Von Miller by himself. That creates a problem when you're going against both of these tackles. And you're talking about 11 personnel. And for people who may not understand what are they talking about with 11 personnel, it's when you're going to have one running back, one tight end, and you're going to have 3 wide receivers. So what that's able to do is you can spread a defense out that's fast to the football, and you can make some plays. Ultimately, it's still going to come down to your defensive front. And when I look at Cincinnati's defensive front compared to the Rams' defensive front, they're different. What I mean they're different is that they beat you with 4, similar to the Tennessee Titans. And unfortunately for Matthew Stafford, he's great under duress when it comes to the blitz, but he's not good when you have the 4-man front. For in the 4-man front, he has more interceptions. He has 17 or 18, and he's thrown about 14 under pressure from a 4-man front. So that's a difference. But I still think the Rams, because of what Aaron Donald is able to do, and now he frees up other defensive linemen.
Floyd and all these guys. And like you said, you do have those names. But, man, Trey Hendrickson, he is no joke. People are going to know his name for sure on Sunday if you haven't been paying attention. You're going to know DJ Reader and Sam Hubbard. They're going to get after it. And I like what you said, though, because they have to get pressure with 4 because I truly believe, and again, you're a professional football player in the National Football League. So you're a very talented human being. But I don't think Eli Apple is anywhere in the upper echelon of wide receivers. Whoever he's on, I feel like there is such a I feel like Matt Stafford should just basically, if they're in man or if you see them rolling the zone over or whatever, check out what Eli Apple's got, because I don't think he can cover OBJ, Cooper Kupp. I don't think he's going to be up for this task, especially on this big stage.
That's when you look at the defensive coordinator, Lou, because they're not going to just line up man to man. I mean, you got the Triple Crown winner.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp.
You got Cooper. So you're not going to line them up. That what you're going to be able to do is you're going to mix up some coverages. You're going to mix your coverages up that's going to parallel to what your defensive front is doing. So what the Rams are going to be able to do, we talked about 11 personnel, but how do you get into 11 personnel? Well, you can get into 11 personnel with trips. You can get into 11 personnel by running motion. You can get into 11 personnel by having bunch sets. But as far as man-to-man cover guys, they're not good as far as the Bengals corner, but they're great at the safety.
Oh, yes.
So now you can manipulate.
The thing that's interesting, though, is if you look at the safety, I love the Rams secondary, but, man, I'll take Von Bell and Jesse Bates. Those two, they're the better safeties actually in this Super Bowl, I truly believe. So if it comes down to the Super Bowl play, the safety play, that's going to be huge, because if you have those guys, if they can go up there and stop Cam Akers with the run, stuff Sonny Michel, and then also help out in the pass and kind of keep them in third and reasonable, that could be a huge thing for the Bengals. I think it's going to be an absolute wild game. I'm excited. We're going to keep breaking this bad boy down, but I got to ask you a question about. You said to me when we were talking before the show how the Rams are kind of built like an NBA team. They went out there and acquired all the talent this year. They basically leveraged their future. You bring in Matt Stafford. You bring in Von Miller, Jalen, OBJ, all these things that you go out there and you bring in. The soup looks like it's working right now. But if you look at the Bengals, they're $55 million under the cap and have the fourth most amount of money to spend next season. Rams are already $8 million over the cap. It feels like the Rams better win now, because this Bengals team, they're going to be hell to contend with, I think, over the next few seasons.
Absolutely. When you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, I think Joe Burrow is the epitome of a number one overall pick quarterback, meaning that you build everything around him, and hopefully he'll be able to get you to a championship, AFC championship, or get you to an NFC championship and get you to the Super Bowl. And that's the way the NFL blueprint is. You want to go through the draft. You want to get a franchise quarterback. You want to be able to get linemen, wide receivers, and then go to the defensive side to help them. And that's what they've been able to do. I think it's mind-boggling to think about Joe Burrow. Last year during this time,
injured.
He was rehabbing. Mm-hmm. He was rehabbing at this time a significant knee injury, and they were 2-14 2 years ago. So what he has been able to do as a quarterback, what the organization has been able to do, is mind-boggling. But you talk about the Rams and you talk about how many millions they're over the cap. Yes, they're built now. Yes, because if you look at the trades, seriously, do they have a draft pick in the next 30 years?
I don't know, man. They got
first
rid of
round?
everything.
Do they have a first?
Got them all.
Yes. They gave up a lot of draft picks for Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
Odell Beckham Jr. They gave up some draft picks for OBJ and Von Miller, but they gave up a lot of first-rounders for Matthew Stafford and for Jalen Ramsey. So they used their draft capital to be able to get to the position where they are. But for me, they have to win the Super Bowl, because that's what the trade was about, because Jared Goff was able to get you to the Super Bowl.
But he couldn't win that big game. They couldn't even score. They only got a field goal in that game. It was a bad Super Bowl, especially as good as the Rams' offense was that season. But the thing also, when I looked over at Cincinnati, you have to also be lucky. But if you're lucky enough to get a number one overall pick on his first contract, his rookie deal, and Joe Burrow, and then the very next year you go out and get a number one pick that's a wide receiver like Jamar Chase, you're hitting the home run. And now is Joe Burrow the kind of guy that's going to get linemen to say, hey, I want to go play with that kid?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because you have to look at the draft, and you just said it. You said you get a number one overall pick in Joe Burrow. But how lucky and blessed is it that you have your top wide receiver that you won a national championship in LSU that's going to be on the board at number 5? So that combination there is a huge combination. But like I said before, this is the way NFL teams want to build their franchises. And I say it all the time. I think the quarterback position is the hardest position to assess coming out of college, because everyone that's picked in the first round, you're building your franchise pretty much on that number one overall pick.
I will tell you something. One person that still freaks me out to this day, Josh Allen, when he came out of Wyoming, I honestly thought your Buffalo Bills were crazy. I was like, he was a very average, mediocre quarterback. Does he look good in his football uniform? Absolutely. He's a full-grown man. Does he have a big arm? Absolutely. But what it is the Bills changed his throwing mechanics. They went out there and worked with him. They got his footwork right. And now he is a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. So it's not also just evaluating the talent, and it's what makes it very hard in college, but it's do you have the right coaches to bring in and actually coach these young men on how to play the NFL game, get the ball out of your pocket. Ball protection is a must. There's just so many. This isn't, like you said, from college to the NFL, that's a big step.
Definitely, it's a huge step, and I think when you're talking about going to the Super Bowl and you're talking about the draft and you're talking about a quarterback, you have to be able to have a great offensive coordinator. What type of scheme are you going to have that's going to fit that quarterback? Can your offensive coordinator work with that quarterback to be able to get him into the offense that you want? You look at Lamar Jackson. I don't think Lamar Jackson would have been as successful with other teams as he is with Baltimore Ravens.
I agree.
Because the Baltimore Ravens said, we're going to take your skill set and we're going to build everything around your skill set. But speaking of Lamar Jackson, yes, he, like Allen, he's going to have to get better on certain, things from throwing from the pocket, getting his elbow up, yes. But a team has to appreciate you. And then your owner. Your owner has to believe in you as far as putting things around you. And then you have to have a general manager to be able to take care of the owner. And New England Patriots has done all of those things the best. Their blueprint is what stands by. But if you can hit on those things, you have an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's so wild how Cincinnati's been hitting on everything. And it's kind of actually crazy to me that we only have 2 number 1 overall picks that play the quarterback position that have actually faced each other in the Super Bowl. First time it was Peyton Manning. Second time it was Peyton Manning versus Cam Newton. Now we have Joe Burrow and, of course, Matt Stafford. Which one of these young guns? And a lot of people don't realize Matt Stafford played forever in Detroit. He's still 31 years old. It isn't like he's an old man. Joe Burrow realistically is, he looks sometimes like a baby up at that podium. He looks like a full-grown man on the field, but he does kind of look like a baby. After our Winter Games update, we're going to talk more with Russell Copeland about which quarterback does he trust. We also got to break down some defenses. We're going to make some picks. And yes, we're talking about the super-duper big game all day long, all day strong on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2022 Winter Games, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average. Big men's hockey game starts at 11 tonight Eastern Time. U.S. and Canada. The U.S. might have Jake Sanderson in the lineup. He was stuck in L.A. with a positive COVID test, got the 5 negative tests needed. Sanderson, 19-year-old University of North Dakota defenseman, considered one of the U.S.'s top players. The wait continues to see what will happen with Kamila Valieva, the 15-year-old Russian figure skating phenom who failed a drug test. The International Skating Union deciding whether the Russians can keep the gold medal won in the team competition. The U.S. finished second, so presumably could be awarded that gold. Also, the arbitration for sport will rule on whether Valieva can compete in the women's individual, where she is the favorite. Finland's Leivo Niskanen won his 3rd career gold medal cross-country skiing. With this Winter Games update, John Stashauer, Westwood One Sports.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, radio has been called theater of the mind, so let's tell a story with sound effects. Wow, it's like I was in the story. Almost makes me forget this was supposed to be about saving big with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
We travel to see what's around the bend and what we're capable of. And now Capital One's new class of travel card can keep up with you. Introducing Venture X from Capital One. With 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy. Venture X, for those always asking, where next? Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
You have opinions?
Well, you gotta have an opinion.
We want to hear them. Call or text us on the AutoZone listener line at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone listener line at 901-360-8255.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm with John Virgos in the alley at the world-famous Rendezvous. John, it's so good to see you. How are things at the restaurant?
Brett, things in the restaurant are fine, but like all restaurateurs will tell you, things are still not back to normal. Supply chains are interrupted. One week we can't find charcoal. Another week we're short on ribs. Another week they can't find the plastic bottles to fill our sauce jars with. I've watched in awe as our fellow Memphis restaurateurs have worked their way through these past months.
John, always new and exciting things at the Rendezvous.
People know we have Greek salad, vegetarian red beans and rice, and vegetarian nachos. But now we have desserts. Miss Barbara of O Taste and See has individually wrapped some wonderful desserts. We have key lime pie, chess pie, chocolate chess pie, and pecan pie. Not pecan pie, pecan pie. We also have a new twist at the Rendezvous. We now have outdoor dining. It's in the side alley along the Rendezvous, not the one in the front. And depending on the weather and depending on staffing, please call ahead to make sure we're open. And we hope it becomes a mainstay here at the Rendezvous.
Mr. Charlie Virgos' world-famous Rendezvous in the alley in downtown Memphis.
The NFL season all comes down to this: Super Bowl 56 with the Rams taking on the Bengals. To celebrate, FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking up all customers with a risk-free same-game parlay. New and existing customers can place any same-game parlay of 3 legs or more on the Super Bowl, and if you don't win, FanDuel will refund you. Already have an account? Just place your risk-free same-game parlay before the Super Bowl to qualify. New customers join today with promo code CASH to enjoy 56-1 odds on either team to win the Super Bowl. You can turn a $5 bet into $280 cash. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, must be 21 and older or present in Tennessee. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Case IH is a proud supporter of the Mississippi Farm Bureau, and thanks to a membership benefits partnership, Mississippi Farm Bureau members receive a discount of up to $500 on every qualifying Case IH tractor and piece of equipment you purchase. This discount may be used with other promotions, rebates, or offers. So join Mid-South Ag Equipment and the Mississippi Farm Bureau and pocket up to $500 in savings. Call Mid-South Ag at 662-890-3141 to get your discount today.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts, boots, and more. Frontier continues to add new items in their women's boutique. Flare jeans and pants are in, and Frontier is fully stocked. There are daily arrivals with thousands of on-trend tops as well, all at amazing prices. And guys, Frontier is your #1 Carhartt store. No one has a larger selection of everyday fits and workwear by Carhartt. Wrangler and area clothing available too. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled and expanded world-famous boots showroom? Now there are even more dress and work boots in stock. There are over 1,000 pair of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, and Twisted X. Frontier recently added Hey Dude shoes with lots more on the way. As if the selection isn't reason enough, Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores. So when you're ready for your next pair, you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Memphis's only Top Golf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen Small Bites. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your good buddy, Johnny Radio. I got Russell Copeland in the house. Y'all know Russell. Of course, he played at Memphis, played for the Bills, Packers, Eagles. Joins me every single Wednesday, usually at noon. But guess what? It's the big game. That's right, the big enchilada. So we got an hour special today with Cope. We're going to talk all things football. But I do want to get into something, and it's not necessarily about the game, but maybe you can give me a little insight, like what's going on in some of these players' minds. Like, what are some of your best memories basically leading up to the big game?
Well, playing in the AFC Championship against Joe Montana.
That's
Marcus Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Your first year, it was big. And me returning kicks, punt returning, playing third and fourth receiver, the whole playoff experience was big because you have to understand, in college, you always watch players. And the Buffalo Bills had went to 4 straight Super Bowls. And when you get on that team, when you have Jim Kelly quarterback and Thurman Thomas, you got Andre Reed. On the defensive side, you got Cornelius Biscuit Bennett, Darryl Talley. You got Bruce Smith. So once we won the game, it was about business the entire year. But when the playoff comes around, it's business. It's not going out. It's studying even more. You're getting with Jim, going over to his house. You're going over the playbooks. You're watching film over his house. So everyone, are locked in. You win the championship game, and for us, it was a week going to the Super Bowl. It wasn't like 2 weeks. If you have 2 weeks like these players have, you have an opportunity to take care of your tickets and take care of your personal business. Now, once you win the championship game on Sunday, Monday, you're flying to Atlanta. And it was hot Atlanta.
Oh, yes.
Hot Atlanta. And you look at Freaknik at Atlanta, and you got a lot of nightclubs in Atlanta. So you have to be glued in. But I think, speaking of the players that I played with, it was great for me to be around these players because they had already set a winning attitude. They had already set an example. And once you get there on Monday, you're able to go out a little bit. But about Tuesday, you were locked in. You didn't go out. You didn't hang out. You didn't do any of those things. So you have some distractions, yes, but you're there to play a game. And this is the most important game, not only of your football career, but it's the National Football League. To be able to get to the Super Bowl in your first year, for me, I was like, I'm not going to do anything to mess it up.
Man, it's addictive. Yeah. I ain't screwing this. And plus, I don't think I'd want to take off Bruce Smith. You know what I mean?
So it's always distractions, man. But those guys were great leaders because, as I said before, they had been to 3 straight Super Bowls. So they understood the routine. You had Marv Levy. Marv Levy is such a great guy, man, laid-back players coach. And just experiences that.
So was he more of a pat on the butt guy instead of a kick in the rear?
Man, he'll let his coordinators coach, but you could talk to Marv about anything. But like I said, it was so many leaders on the team. Then he could rely on his
kept
players.
Everybody accountable.
Yes, and he was at the top, and he was the perfect person to run the ship. But just leading into Super Bowl week for me, when you get to the hotel, and I'm looking at soap stars from Days of Our Lives. I'm looking at, later on, I'm seeing, Bruce Smith talk to some people, Michael Jordan comes through, and it's like, man, that's Mike. You're looking at Michael Jackson, you look at Janet Jackson. So you're seeing already that it's totally different. And then once you get to the stadium, everyone has a podium. And you have the media from China, you have the media from Spain, and everyone is asking you questions. So it's totally different than a normal week because of the media attraction and just because it's the biggest game, of the year.
Well, you've been playing football basically your whole life. You're going to the big game. How different did it actually feel? And one thing I keep thinking about is about you, returning punts. I mean, there's, returning punts in the NFL is one thing. Returning it in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, I mean, does everything just go silent? Do all you see is that ball? Like, what is it like returning a punt in a big playoff game?
Once the ball is punted or the ball is snapped, you go by your business as normal. And once you have your first contact, it's a regular game. It's just leading up to the game.
You just got to get a hit that one time, and then you realize you're back playing football.
Like you're back playing football. But leading up to the game, Johnny, leading up to the Super Bowl, this entire week for these players is going to be just something different than you've ever had to do because you have to take media pictures, you have to go here, you have to go there. So that's the hardest part because guess what? When the game is played on Sunday, it's football. You've been playing football all your life, but you're actually preparing for the game during the week. So it's the preparation leading to the big game. And those are the things that you're not able to execute on Sunday because you didn't take care of your business early in the week. So that's the most important time, not hanging out, not going to bars, not preparing yourself. And that's the biggest distraction of Super Bowl week.
When you look at this matchup, again, everybody's talking about the fireworks, and I'm talking about 2 number 1 overall quarterbacks, superstar receivers on both sides, from Jamar Chase and T. Higgins out of Clemson, Tyler Boyd to, of course, like you got the Triple Crown winner in Cooper Kupp, OBJ. It really doesn't get bigger than these stars out there. We talk about the defense because, of course, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, they got some big names over there. But do you think this Sunday, will it be an offensive explosion, or do you think that defenses are going to keep everybody in check?
I think when you look at 4 quarters, I think offense and defense are going to have their moments. I don't know if it's going to be early on. That's what I'm going to be watching to see not only the players but the referees. How are the referees going to call the game? Are they going to let the game play itself out, or are they going to be ticky-tacky with pass interference calls? And same thing as far as holding. So I want to see how aggressive both of these offenses are going to come out and look and see the defenses and see how aggressive the defensive lines are going to be. But I think, Johnny, honestly, I think defense will have their moments, and I think offense will have their moments. I don't know if it'll be in the first half or the second half, but I think the offense are going to be able to score some points. They'll be able to figure out what the defense are doing on second down, third down, down and distances. But I'm expecting a close football game because that's the way the playoffs have been in 2022. All of them have been close. They've been down to the wire. So I expect the same thing from this game.
And you mentioned the officials, and I'm glad you brought that up because as a wide receiver, as the era that you played the actual game in, when you see a defensive lineman hold up, do everything he can to not bump the quarterback, but they just barely bump or like basically almost kiss face mask, or a hand comes down, he's trying to swat at the ball, and he just grazes the side of the helmet. Does that drive you crazy?
Absolutely. Because, first of all, I think the protection of the players, I agree
it's
totally
important
with.
with, yes.
I agree totally. I just think sometimes the referees put the game into their hands. Some of these fouls you should not have, because once a referee starts changing the outcome of a game, then to me, it's not refereeing the game. You're changing the game. And I think some of these fouls, when you look at it, I think they should be able to have a situation, say we're picking that flag up, because if it's 3rd and 15 and the defensive line rushes to the quarterback and all of a sudden he puts his hand and his hand grazes the helmet.
Oh, my goodness.
And they say hands to the face, and now you're in the red area instead of punting the football. Those are the calls for me that I think the NFL should eliminate, those ticky-tack calls.
Yeah, it's got it. Sometimes, you know what, the best sense is just common sense. And you can actually see if it's a malicious hit, if the guy was pulling up. And again, if you blow on the quarterback in his ear, I don't think it should be a 15-yard penalty, okay? It's just absolutely wild. But, man, I got to know this right now. This is we talked about the officiating. We've talked about what your life experience was like. Are you thinking that possibly this week has been a little bit quiet, as you would say, for a typical Super Bowl? Is that because of the coronavirus? Is it because these two teams are so locked in? Like, why is this year, at least for me, it feels like everybody's basically doing business there's no Eugene Robinson moment so far.
I think it's a variety of things. I think you have to start with both of the coaches. I think both of these coaches, they have their players ready to play. They appreciate what their players have been able to do. But when you look at both of these teams, how they were able to get here, especially when you look at the Bengals, the new kids on the block, I don't think there's anyone on this team that wants to mess it up. I think they want to continue to prove the world wrong. Now, when you look at the Rams, I think starting with OBJ, he has a chance to revitalize his career. He's ready to play. He wants to go out and make plays. You look at Cooper Kupp, man, the guy was a late draft pick. You look at Sony Michel being able to play in this football game. Sony Michel was not wanted by the Patriots. You look at Cam Akers. He tore up his Achilles heel. And in July, he's back playing. You look at their offensive line. They have one of the oldest, linemen that's in the National Football League. So and when you look at Andrew Whitworth. So when I put all of these things together, Johnny, is that these teams are focused. And NFL teams are accustomed with a lot of sports teams because of COVID.
You also just brought up Andrew Whitworth. We talked about Tom Brady and how amazing he was that he's playing football up into his age. Andrew Whitworth is playing left tackle, and he's 40 years old. Like, when I think about that, that is... Listen, you can't, right now, I mean, Tom Brady is the greatest thing in the whole wide world. I'm kind of wondering, from a physical standpoint, what's more impressive?
Both are impressive to me.
They really are.
For a quarterback to play at 44 years of age but still be playing at a high level, especially, when you look at the accolades that Tom Brady has been able to do, he's the GOAT. If you look at the Super Bowls, you look at him changing teams and then going to another team that was at the bottom of the barrel. That's at the top. But when you look at the physicality from an offensive lineman, usually offensive linemen, they've been injured a lot. Their knees begin to go bad. Their backs begin to go bad. And just their foot speed is not good for these young defensive linemen and outside linebackers coming. For him to be 40 years old.
They're getting faster and faster each year. I mean, it's getting crazy watching people like Chase Young and TJ Watt. These guys coming off the edge as big as they are. I mean, it's and fast, the way they get that leverage. So, yeah, Andrew Whitworth. It's pretty baller. I didn't even think about how old he was. All right, now, I got to straight up get into this now. We talk about balance. We talk about offensive efficiency. I look at the Rams, and I feel like they're more balanced because I do still think they have the better offensive line. They can utilize Cam Akers. They can utilize Sonny Michel. They can also push the ball down the field. Do you think that the Bengals are going to be a lot more one-dimensional? And is this game going to basically live on the right arm of Joe Burrow?
I don't think so. I think if either one of these teams go one-dimensional, they're going to lose. Because I think both teams have to try to establish the run. I'm not saying that either one of these teams have 150 yards, but I do think that they need to have about 25 rushing attempts to be able to get the play-action passes that you're going to need. But the biggest question is the offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest question coming into. He had the most sacks by any quarterback in the National Football League in the regular season, 51. He started out against the Titans. He had 9 sacks.
And he's coming off an injury from last year. It's amazing. I mean, you would think he'd be shell-shocked.
So protecting him is going to be big. But Joe Burrow is an anomaly because the things that he's been able to do and still stand upright, if you look at the interceptions, he doesn't have many. And when he's sacked 9 times in the game, you know what makes him great? He takes that loss.
He gets up.
He say, I'm going to go ahead and take the sack. I'm not going to throw the football up for grabs. And he takes that. But I think the difference is when you look at both of these defenses for Cincinnati, I think you look at the quick pass early in the game. I think you look at your one-step slants. I think you look at your three-step slants. I think you look at your quick passes. You look at your screens. If you think about the game that they played against the last game they played when P. Ryan
Samaje P. Ryan.
He catches the screen and he scores a touchdown. But the Rams defense, the middle of the field, Johnny.
That choked Kansas City. That hurt.
When you look at being off balance and you look at screen passes, especially when a defensive front is getting up the field, I'm going to look at the quick passes to protect Joe Burrow. And once you get the quick passes going, now you can hit play action passes. But the soft part of the Rams defense is the middle of the field. And Boyd, I like the way he attacks the middle of the field, but you don't have to attack the middle of the field just with Tyler Boyd. You can attack it with multiple ways. You can attack it with routes. You don't have to just run straight down the field. You can run sluggos, which is a slant and go. You can be able to run a Dino route, which is a post-corner post. You can run different things to be able to attack the middle of the field, and that's what I'm going to look at to see how the Rams be able to protect the middle of the field.
How impressive, because we talk about how great Cooper Kupp is, though, but Jamar Chase, I mean, what he's done this year is ridiculous, number one. But there's not a route that Jamar Chase cannot run. They were talking about drops early on. He was struggling in the preseason. He had a big drop in a regular season game, but he hasn't let him bother him. He's gone out there, had the best rookie season by a wide receiver you've ever seen. He can do everything. Is he the best wideout that's going to be playing this Sunday?
I don't think he's the best wideout that's going to be playing because there's a lot of great wideouts, but what he does for Cincinnati is outstanding because when you look at the chemistry between Joe Burrow and Chase, it goes back to college. He's the only quarterback that Chase has had.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had any other quarterback. So that chemistry is unbelievable. And you asked me early in the year, everyone was talking about his drops in the preseason. I said he just has to make those adjustments. Believe it or not, the college ball has those white stripes.
Yep, the stripes.
And you can be able to pick it up. And now the ball is coming out a little bit faster, coming back a little harder. The routes and everything is quicker. So for you to be able to make that adjustment, it's a small adjustment, but it can be big for wide receivers, just like the quarterbacks with the ball. Some like the ball bigger,
a little
some
fatter
like
instead
a
of longer,
little bit smaller. So that's the adjustment. But going to Chase, what makes him great, Johnny? He's big. He's not tall, but he's muscular. He's well put together. He can run after the catch. You can't just come up and press him. And then he runs outstanding routes at the top of the stem, and he can run every route on the route tree. That's what makes him so dynamic, running after the catch.
How shocked are you that Joe Burrow has this much moxie? For me to think about where he came from, he could not get on the field at Ohio State. Dwayne Haskins, he sat behind. Justin Fields comes in. He's not going to get the job. He goes to LSU, wins a national title, goes to Cincinnati, where careers go to die. He doesn't know that. He thinks he's ready to win. And again, he's playing now in the biggest game of his life. Where does that confidence come from?
Well, you just talked about it. It comes from being overlooked, much like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's 6th-round draft pick. That's why he has played so long. And that's the same thing that you see out of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow wants to say, okay, I wasn't good enough for you to get on the field at Ohio State. Well, let me transfer to LSU. What did he do at LSU? He started, 1 year?
Mm-hmm. Natty.
He won a chip.
Won a natty.
He wins a chip. He wins a chip. He's the number 1 overall pick. Now he's taking a team to the Super Bowl. And we forget he won the Heisman. So if he wins the Super Bowl, he'll be the first player to be able to do all 4 of those things. It's just amazing. I just love Joe Burrow.
I did not even realize that. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, he just basically couldn't get on the deadgum field and then took the whole world by storm and said, you know what, y'all missed out. Cincinnati's dominating, and I can't wait to watch this Rams game. But I've got a lot of other questions, like who's going to win the big game. I'm going to put you to the fire. You're going to have to make a pick before we get off these airwaves. But I also want to remind you, do you know what the big game is on Sunday? You know what the next day is?
Man, it's Hearts Day, man.
It's Valentine's Day, my man. Oh, my goodness. And you better remember, because I'm telling you right now, you go out there and you have an amazing Super Bowl party, and then, Monday rolls around and you forget your Valentine. Well, I'll just tell you, life won't be good. So go ahead and make your reservations. Call the number 901-58-SWING. That's over at Erling Jensen's Small Bites. That's right. That's where the Doubletree Hotel is, over at 5069 Sanderland Road. It is, of course, the only place that have Top Golf swing suites. But we're not worried about playing Top Golf because, dadgum, it's the day after the big game. We're worried about you making sure that you have a wonderful meal with your girl. And it's simple because you can go $55 a person. And for an extra $30, you get chocolate-covered strawberries and champagne. I'm telling you, I got you covered. That's Erling Jensen's Small Bite over at the Doubletree Hotel. Go ahead and book your reservations right now by calling 901-58-SWING. That's 901-58-SWING. Book your reservation today and make sure your lady still loves you. Don't touch that dial. Me and Cope will be back in 2 Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
So we all know you can get everything you need at a grocery store, but why would you pay more for lesser quality meat? At Louis' Deli and Meat Market in Arlington, you're not only going to see the quality in their meats, but you will literally taste the quality in every single bite. Plus, more than likely, pay less. And that's really important nowadays. Got to get together? Fire up that grill with their handmade garlic sausages or jalapeno and cheddar bratwurst. Or how about a hand-cut bacon wrap filet or top sirloin? The absolute best. Or if you want to know how to improve your outdoor grilling, pick up some of Louis' fresh ground beef or maybe their hand-cut ribeye or New York strip. Louis has literally everything for your grill, from barbecue rubs, sauces, charcoal, and so much more. And Louis' Deli and Meat Market only carries the finest deli meats and 19 cheeses. And I guarantee you they make the best deli sandwiches in the area. So visit Louis' Deli and Meat Market, located in Arlington at 11695 Highway 70, just 1/4 of a mile east of Highway 385. Is locally and veteran-owned. Is Louis' Deli and Meat Market. It's the quality you can see and taste.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
Barks now offers you just about everything you need for your furry family member. Daycare, luxury boarding, award-winning grooming, veterinary checkups, diagnostic services including digital x-ray, fluoroscopy, and ultrasound, complete dental service, vaccinations, preventative care for fleas, ticks, and heartworms, and just about any needed surgical treatment. And did I mention that we treat cats and all types of exotic pets? We are the newest member of the Barks family and the newest, most high-tech veterinary hospital in the Mid-South. Located directly across the street from Barks and Recreation, we are a full-service hospital with a fantastic, experienced staff. If you're having problems getting a timely appointment at your current vet's facility, we are here to serve you. Call us at 901-979-8888. Barks and Medication. Excellence in veterinary care.
Hey everybody, the go-to place to sell any vehicle for some crazy good money and get a check today is right here in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. And you don't have to buy one of All-Star's cars or trucks. Just bring it on, even if you owe money on it. But if you're ready to go car and truck shopping, this is where you want to be. All the Silverados are coming right here to Olive Branch. Ask for Kevin or Jeff and they'll show you all the new Chevys here and in the pipeline. Our All-Star friends have been spot on in getting all the best 21s and the 2022s. Seriously, they will go fast, so try to get here this week and pre-order what you want. 0-interest financing is available and your good credit deserves it. Just go to allstarautogroup.com and look at all the pre-owned and certified pre-owned Chevy Silverados, Tahoes, and Suburbans. Go big. Check out the brand new Stingray. But remember, it's not South Haven, not the Pike, not Collierville, or Mount Moriah. It's gotta be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Memphis's only Top Golf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen Small Bites. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour on a beautiful Friday. Last show of the week before the big game, the super duper big game. And of course, we're hanging out with somebody who played in that big game, and that would be our very own Russell Copeland. Also got Jay Morgan Harder in the house. Jay, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing well, John.
All right, I need to know. Do you have a team that you've decided that you're going to bet on?
Yeah, do I need to make that official right now?
You don't have to, but I'm just saying, if you need to, go ahead and, let your piece be said.
I think the Rams, I went back and forth all week, and I decided this morning that I think the Rams -4 is the play for me.
All right, I like it. Now, I'm going to make my man Russell Copeland laugh at me. So, I've been doing a little research on some prop bets because, I like to have a little bit of fun and a little bit of action. Well, I was in the last 20 years, do you know this little fun fact? If you bet $100 on a kick return, you win $100. You have to bet $130 that it's going to be a touchback because they're saying, look how powerful these kickers' legs are today. They're going to kick that ball out of the end zone. Found out in the last 20 years, only 2 touchdowns. 18 have been returned. And I found out why. It's not a kicker ball. It's the only ball they kick that's brand new. It's all pretty. It's not all like, how the kickers like to get their ball all soft and everything. And those dudes don't kick it as far. And plus, you're amped up. It's the big game. They're bringing that jun out. So I found a great prop bet. It's hitting at 90% clip in the last 20 years. You can thank me later. And I found one more that I like. Matt Stafford, his total rushing attempts are 2.5. If you think that the Rams are going to win this football game, I did not know this. I found this out today. If you kneel the ball down, if you're trying to kill some clock, that's a rush attempt.
Mm-hmm.
So if he does a quarterback sneak, maybe takes off one, heck, a couple kneel downs, I'm cashing my ticket.
Johnny, man, you're brilliant. I give it to you, man. I got to start hanging out with you, man. We got to get some of this money, you know?
I love it. I love it. We're definitely going to do that. But now I got to get back into the real situation because I have to hold you to the fire. I need to know the truth. Who in your heart of hearts, who in your unbelievable wisdom, you, again, played in the National Football League, played for the Tigers. You know what it's like to be a professional athlete. You understand Super Bowl week. You've been there. You've done that. Who do you have winning and why?
I love both of these teams, Johnny. I'm no different than anyone else.
Can't help but like them both.
I love both of them. Yes, I have made my picks earlier. I was on had a couple of jobs and a couple of shows yesterday. I like the Rams, and it was tough for me because I love the new kids on the block.
Yep.
I love the unsung hero, their defense. You take their defense and you hold Patrick Mahomes to a 1.4 QBR rating in the second half, and you did it twice. You did it in Week 17, and you turned around and you did it in the playoffs. So
you know what? You just remind me. I forgot. They dropped Kansas City, kept them out of the number 1 spot while Tennessee got it. They dropped them twice in the final 4 weeks of the season. Dang.
And they held Patrick Mahomes to 7 points in Week 17, and they held him to 3 points in the playoffs. So this defense is for real. I love Cincinnati. But when I come back to the Rams, I look at how different that they can play offensively.
Mm-hmm.
I think I talked about rushing attempts. They have a 3-headed monster. They have Cam Akers. Darrell Henderson will be back.
That's right.
And you got Sony Michel. The way they utilize Cooper Kupp, if you double Cooper Kupp, you have a number 1 wide receiver in OBJ on the other side. So those are matchup problems. And I think if Tyler Higbee plays, that'll be big. But even if he doesn't play, the way they utilize their tight ends, they'll use Benton. They'll still be able to run their offense the way they run it. Mm-hmm. But then their third receiver is very capable when you look at Van Jefferson. So when I look at that matchup going against the secondary for Cincinnati, that's the reason why I picked the Rams overall. Offense, defense, and special teams. I think.
Ooh, wait a second. I didn't even ask you this. Offense, defense, special teams are so crucial, especially in a game like this. Which unit does have the better special teams?
I'm going to say the Rams because Cincinnati, their kicking game, not field goal. Their field goal kicker is one of the best. He's 12 for 12 in the playoffs, right? So he's playing, but that's a push because Matt Gay is a Pro Bowl kicker. So that's a push. But their punt return game, Cincinnati, when they lost Brandon Wilson earlier, that hurt them, and them just being able to punt consistently. They haven't been able to punt consistently when you look at Kevin Huber.
Yeah.
He hasn't been cooking, so that gives me to the Rams. But as far as place kickers, I think the game will come down to both of these great place kickers.
And by the way, we talk about punter. Johnny Hecker ain't no joke for the Rams. He's one of the best punters in football, period.
Absolutely.
He'll pin you deep. He'll angle it. He'll do whatever. He'll kick it high. Johnny Hecker, you know what? It's kind of crazy to think about this. We're talking about the big game that has Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Jamar Chase, Aaron Donald, all these great football players. But, man, right now we're talking Johnny Hecker because there are 3 phases of the game. And if you give the Rams an edge in special teams, I think the Rams also have the edge. I think the defensive front is going to be able to do a little bit of work on that Cincinnati Bengals offensive line. Everybody's been talking about it all week, and the reason they are is because it is real. They're not as good as the Rams offensive line. In fact, that Bengals, Joe Burrow is he's a machine. He got sacked 9 times by the Titans, and they still won. But it did take 3 interceptions by Ryan Tannehill to hold on. I think also the luck just stops right here. I think the new kids on the block who I love, while they're here, while they're awesome, I just think it's a little too early. But you better watch out, especially all those people in the AFC North, because this team's, they're here to stay.
Joe Burrow is the real deal. And that's why I said earlier he's an anomaly. Because what he's been able to go through coming off a knee injury and coming back and being as efficient as he has. But you look at the playoffs, you look at him being sacked this many times. Usually a quarterback sacked 51 times, they don't make the playoffs. Usually a young quarterback that's sacked 9 times in a playoff game, he usually tanks. He's usually not able to keep his poise and be able to come back. Not only does he keep his poise.
Just look at David Carr. He got sacked so many times when he came to Houston.
He was ready to retire.
He was shell-shocked after the first season.
Absolutely. And I think when you look at him, that's part of it. The poise that he has in the pocket. Because sacks hurts them, but turnovers kills them. And he does not turn the football over when he gets sacked. So basically what I'm saying, if it makes sense to all the listeners, he's accustomed to being sacked. It's okay. He's like, okay, let's go to the next play. But most quarterbacks, once they get sacked that many times, they get shell-shocked. They get the football out of their hands, and you get interception. He does not play that well. But I think when you look at Zach Taylor, this is not just the Super Bowl to win it, but it's to protect next year, the year after. It's to protect your franchise. So he's going to have some quick passes. He'll have some quick passes to help him. But I just think overall, this Rams defense, their speed, they can run you down even with the quick passes. And it's going to be a couple of turnovers. Does it come on special teams? Does it come with one of these great receivers running the football? Someone comes from behind him.
Does Ramsey jump a route?
You know, does it come to that? Does it come to a sack fumble? Someone picks it up and scores. So I love this game because you have so many different things that can happen within this game because you have so many stars on defense. And I think this is the one time that you can get a defensive MVP because you've got some great players on defense.
I think the last time that a defensive MVP was that the Seattle Super Bowl? Pretty sure. I'll have to look that up.
Or the Buccaneers. I know the Buccaneers, they were able to get it with their safety.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You already got it. I think you got it. We've been talking a lot of NFL football. I do have one more question, though, for Cope. Aaron Rodgers, the whole situation with Green Bay. Just curious, what do you expect him to do?
It's Aaron Rodgers, so you really don't know what to expect. But I think, honestly, Aaron Rodgers is a great player, but I think he leaves. Going into this offseason, we'll be talking about it after the Super Bowl, but I think he goes to Denver. That's a place for me to look. If he can go to Denver, he has his offensive coordinator there. And look, if he can do a Tom Brady,
oh yeah,
and he can bring Devontae Adams, then now when you look at the AFC with Joe Burrow, you look at Lamar Jackson, you look at Allen,
Justin Herbert,
you look at all that. That's great for football. So it's going to be an interesting offseason. But I think Aaron Rodgers, it's time for him to move on. And I think he made that decision. That's why in this offseason, he made sure he had all the power. So right now, he has Green Bay bent over the barrel.
Yes, he does.
So he has the power right now, and so he can leave. His money's protected, and he can pretty much go where he wants to go. I don't think they'll trade him within the division. So the AFC makes a lot of sense for me.
And the Denver Broncos look like they are a quarterback away. We do know Aaron Rodgers is a pretty bad man, and he can play the position well. But my goodness, could you imagine the AFC with Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow? Goodness gracious. Poor Trevor Lawrence down in Jacksonville. It's going to be rough on him, man.
And the last thing before we say, you'll hear some people say, well, why would he want to go to the AFC because it's loaded as far as competition? Man, when you're a football player, you don't care about the competition.
Correct.
You want to go there and say, hey, I'm the biggest man here. I'm Aaron Rodgers. I've won four MVPs. Only Peyton Manning has won more.
Man, unbelievable. Russell, I appreciate your time so much. Enjoy this weekend. I don't know if you heard this yesterday. I gave a couple people out. Everybody knows about the squares. Play, football squares. It's fun. Found another game that's kind of cool. Like if you just get like a pitcher, empty of course, and you get your buddies around. First play, it goes in the same order. You draft, the order, and you put in $1 or a $5 bill, and like before the play. And if they score on that play, who's ever holding the pitcher gets the cash.
I love it.
Isn't that cool?
And guess what? We have shots. After that as well.
Oh, yes, we do.
I love it.
Enjoy the big game. Thank you so much to Cope. He is the man. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
The lunatic is in my head.
You already know that Sunrise on Jefferson serves up the freshest and fastest breakfast or lunch in the city with only the highest quality ingredients. But there's so much more to Sunrise. This is a place you can rush through to get something to eat. But it's also a place where, if you have the time, you can enjoy it leisurely in a great atmosphere. Sunrise is full of beautiful folk art and, more importantly, features one of the most impressive Bloody Mary bars you're ever going to see. If you have the time, there's nothing like taking it at Sunrise.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
When you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get great savings and round-the-clock protection, which is as beautiful as looking your firstborn child in the eyes for the first time. Well, that's a bit much. Maybe it's more like looking your second-born child in the eyes for like the third or fourth time. Point being, the savings and round-the-clock protection are really, really magical.
Forced Metaphors. Presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Hi, everyone. Greg Gaston for FanDuel. The NFL season all comes down to this. Super Bowl 56 with the Rams taking on the Bengals. To celebrate, FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking all customers up with a risk-free same-game parlay. New and existing customers can place any same-game parlay of 3 legs or more on the Super Bowl, and if you don't win, FanDuel will refund you. Already have an account? To qualify, just place your risk-free same-game parlay before the Super Bowl kicks off. New customers, join today with promo code GASMAN to enjoy 56-1 odds on either team to win the Super Bowl. You can turn a $5 bet into $280 in cash. FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of the National Football League. Must be 21 or over and present in Tennessee. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund is $5. Unless otherwise specified, restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789.
Hi, I'm Troy Fivesh, owner of Fivesh Roofing. Sunday, today and today only. And for the first 50 callers. These are things you will never hear me say in my ads. Because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you don't need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get someone's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. 5S Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service, and I do it for a fair price, why would I need gimmicks? Best products, best warranties, and the best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. 5S Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5S Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5S Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 120 years. You know, I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats to watch the playoff games and to watch all the basketball. It's so easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet. I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder is in the house, and thank you very much to Russell Copeland, of course, who played with the Buffalo Bills, played in the big game himself, also played here at the University of Memphis Packers and Eagles. But now it's time to talk with Paramount Sports' very own Lee Sterling. We have a big game. It's the super duper 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 big game. Lee, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm good. I'm holding. Actually, I got COVID 3 weeks ago, and wasn't bad. But my voice has come and gone, so it sounds like I have a frog in my throat. I feel great. Just the voice has been coming and going, and think you know what, it wasn't too bad, and don't have to worry for the next 3 or 4 months. I can finally eat inside when I go to a restaurant. Have you had it yet?
I have not, somehow. It is kind of almost a miracle. I have been double tapped, triple tapped, whatever.
Yeah, me too.
But again, like, you still get it, if you've been vaxxed or whatever. But I have somehow, I'm not going to lie, Lee, I'm out living my best life.
Right. I got it. I had not gone to many games. I've been to some Heat games, and no one's wearing masks there. Maybe 30-40% of the people went to the University of Miami, Florida State basketball game. Everyone's wearing a mask, and I somehow got it. And what was weird was it was 2 days later, I came home from work, and I looked at my wife. I'm like, did you turn the air down? Like, I got the chills.
Uh-oh.
And she's like, no. And I'm like, uh-oh. And I had the chills for about 30, 40 minutes. And went to sleep that night, woke up and had a fever for a couple hours of like 100, 101. And then I woke up, I was fine, and a little bit of a head cold and slight headache, during the next couple of days, but nothing terrible at all. But hers was totally different. She had like a cold, she had a runny nose, she was sleepy first 2-3 days, so affects everyone deep. I have some other friends who got it.
Are you able to taste and smell?
I didn't lose it at all.
Sweet.
That's not a problem for me. I did not lose that. But I had a friend that he got it. He had a fever of 101 for 4 days. His wife and 2 kids never got it. So
it don't make sense, does it?
It makes no sense at all.
Now, speaking of some stuff that makes sense, is I always ask you for your picks. We're going to talk about some prop bets. We're going to talk about the big game. We're going to break this thing down. But I actually want to run something across you.
Okay.
Because I feel extremely smart today, and you tell me if you think this is good. Right now, Matt Stafford, total rushing attempts, over 2.5. If he has a quarterback sneak, and at the end of the game, if people think the Rams are going to win, maybe he takes a couple kneels. I didn't realize when you take a kneel, that's a rushing attempt. He makes 1-2 runs. Next thing you know, you might get that over with them kneeling the football down if you believe the Rams are going to win. Do you like that prop bet? Yes or no?
I think it's a sucker play.
It is? Oh, damn. I was trying to get smart.
Yep. So here's the way I see. Let me give you some of the prop plays.
All right.
So I like Joe Burrow over 10.5 rushing yards. A lot of people don't realize that you don't count sacks. So he can get sacked 9 times for 80 yards. Doesn't matter. You just count the rushing yards. Now, a couple of years ago, remember Patrick Mahomes was way over that total and ran backwards 2 times, and it went under. But, in the championship game, he had a 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9, ran for a first down in both. He could be running for his life in this game with that defensive line after him and his porous offensive line. So, 1 rush for 11, 12 yards, you're over that total. Matthew Stafford, 5.5 rushing yards. I think it's going under. Like I said, I think it's a sucker's play. They're setting you up there. First offensive play, I think it's going to be a run. Here's why. The Rams, in their championship game, they passed the ball first 3 times, had to punt. And I think that they want to establish the line of scrimmage, and I think they can have some success against Cincinnati, and they don't want to throw it 2 out of 3 or all 3 times first possession. Then also look on the other side, the Bengals, they don't want to have Joe Burrow throw the ball 45, 50 times. They don't want to have him the first play of the game throwing the ball and get hit and hurt. So I like the first offensive play in the game to be a run, minus 140.
Ooh,
Trey Hendrickson, over a half a sack. 14 sacks in the regular season, 2.5 including a strip sack in the playoffs. He's going against a quarterback, Matthew Stafford, not real mobile. Will go over a half a sack. And here's the one I like the most. Longest field goal, 47 yards. Kickers these days, I mean, they're bombing anything inside of 60. I mean, it seems like they make them with regularity. So, they're just seem like a little bit longer than extra points. Anything under 58 yards is seems like 75-80%. So McPherson hasn't missed a field goal. Every field goal he's attempted,
Matt Gay's good too.
Right down the center, the center of the uprights. So we'll go over 47 yards, longest field goal.
I like that.
And then the special, my daughter, the national anthem. She's hit 7 in a row and put her up to the task again. She actually came home from New York City last weekend, and she came out after about an hour and a half, and she was smiling. I said, "What's so funny?" She goes, "Come in here and watch this." And she had me watch both of her national anthems that she sung. Are you familiar with Mickey Guyton at all?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. I'm not a real big country music fan. I'd heard the name. Honestly, never heard. I couldn't tell you what her songs were.
I'd have to be honest. I don't know. The reason I know Mickey Guyton is because I have been looking at the over and the under.
Right, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. Degenerate, just like myself. So, her voice, I saw her sing a couple songs besides the national, is incredible. Now, her passion, listen to her story to becoming a recording artist. It stems from watching LeAnn Rimes when she was younger. She grew up in Arlington, Texas, a suburb of Dallas. She watched LeAnn Rimes sing the national anthem at a Texas Rangers game. And she sang it twice in 1:24 and 1:27. You can go on YouTube and watch it. But my daughter pointed out that was with a fast track. It was a really quick track, and she was rushing through it. She was cutting phrases short to stay along with the music. And, there is a history of letting people take their time with the national anthem the last 9 years.
Yep.
7 of the 9 have gone over 2 minutes, and the other 2 were over 1:35, and that's the over-under here. So she just feels she's a well-trained singer with amazing pipes. Her vocal control is superb. And, this is her moment here. She's not going to rush through it. She's going to nail it. She's going way over 135. Play it right now. Don't wait because it's probably going to close 140, 145.
I love it. And by the way, everybody, don't forget, check out all your big super duper big game prop bets, free picks, all of them at ParamountSports.com. He's Lee Sterling. You can give him a call. Do you got a little special play that you're dropping for the people? I know 800-400-9741 is usually always open and ready to roll.
Yeah, so we're going to give away the first half total. We're going to go under the 24 points. That's the free play we're giving out here on the air. Feel that the Rams are going to want to establish the run and maybe a little feeling out process. And so we'll go under 24 in the first half if they want to get the Super Bowl winner, which we've won 3 straight, going for 4 straight, and our top 10 prop plays, plus all the hockey and basketball. College basketball is incredible the last couple of weeks. Just $97, ParamountSports.com. Also, the UFC card, 7 selections, $47, up and available. Check it out and get involved. And we're so sure we're going to win in the UFC. If we don't have a winning card, we will give you the next 2 cards for free. Everything's up and available, ParamountSports.com, or call us 800-400-9741.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how you got into it, but, man, once you picked up UFC, you've been just dominating it. Wow.
A lot of work, but I enjoy it. What a card. What a pay-per-view card they have coming out. Starts at 6 o'clock Eastern. So I always get calls from people, "Oh, can I get involved now?" They call me like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm like, "You missed half the fights." So starts 6 Eastern, 5 your time.
Lee, be blessed. Enjoy the big game. And, again, everybody hop on to ParamountSports.com. And, again, don't forget to give him a call. Make sure you win the big game. 800-400-9741. Have fun. I'm glad you're healthy, my brother.
Okay. Thanks, buddy. Take care. See you, Johnny.
That's my buddy, Lee Sterling. Guess what, Jay?
What's that?
See how Lee took lemons and you know what he turned it into?
Lemonade.
Lemon drop.
Mm.
You know what he made it with, don't you? Tito's Handmade Vodka. You remember Lee, he drinks Tito's on the reg, and that's all he drinks because it's naturally gluten-free. It has an unbelievable flavor, slightly sweet with a black pepper note. Like he says, to me, it balances everything out. It doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail, if you're drinking it neat, whatever you're doing, especially on a beautiful Friday like today, or during the super-duper-duper-duper big bowl, you know what you need to do? Get your Tito's on. Tito's Handmade Vodka. Mr. J, you want to go to Hardenwood?
This is Access Hardenwood.
Hardenwood is a little weird today. Does that shock you?
I feel like it's always weird.
Oh.
That's like the staple of Hardenwood. Is it's weird.
Well, I have to bring up, Cam Newton is a savage. Cam Newton is a savage.
In what way?
So, do you know, I don't know, you should know, it kind of will break my heart if you don't, but do you know who Brittany Renner is?
Yes.
And do you know her, they call it her
I have no
book.
idea who Brittany Renner is, by the way.
All right, Brittany Renner, she has been romantic, we'll put it this way, she's been romantically linked with James Harden, my kinfolk, the Beard, who's now playing in Philadelphia, loves some cheesesteaks. Also, Drake. By the way, Drake bet $1 million on the Rams today. He said he's doing it for OBJ. Lil Uzi Vert. Jamal Murray. Ben Simmons. How weird is it? James Harden, Ben Simmons traded for each other. They've also done a little swapping, if you know what I'm saying. Trey Songz. Chris Brown. Better be careful. Isn't Chris Brown the one that
beat up Rihanna?
Oh, no, not Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that guy must be crazy.
No, he's crazy.
Rihanna? He dated Rihanna?
And hit her.
He needs to be put under. Never mind. I just don't get me started on that. Colin Kaepernick. So anyway, Brittany Renner, if you can't tell, in her own, how do I say this? In her own light, she's somewhat of a savage, isn't she?
Sure.
Well, Brittany Renner does a little bitty show, and guess who she invited on her show?
Cam Newton.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to tell you, you're like a sleuth.
Well,
you're a detective.
You gave it away.
Oh, man, I'm good at these things. Now, so, Renner is sitting there, like, vibing with Cam Newton. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of, like, the interview, she's like, she's like, here's what she says. She's like, you're just so sweet. And then Cam goes, I'm Cam Newton. I'm not about to hit you on no DM with no Brittany talking about. He's like, hey, yo, what's good? You poppin'? You in Atlanta right now? I think I'm going to slide through. Hell no. Told this to her face during her interview. Then he came back and said to her, because I don't want to end up in your damn book. Cam Newton is a savage.
Tells it like it is.
Dude, keeping it real Cam.
That's his new nickname, Keep It Real Cam.
Keep it real Cam. I don't know about you. I wish that I had. But he is Cam Newton. I mean, Heisman Trophy winner, played in the Super Bowl against Peyton, baller, shot caller, MVP.
An assortment of hats.
Great hats. He's got his own swag.
I
don't think he needs Brittany Renner. Now, what does that say about Ben Simmons, James Harden, Jamal Murray, Lil Uzi Vert, all these people?
None of them are the greatest college football player to ever play the game.
No. It's just saying they don't have as much intestinal fortitude as Cam Newton.
Yeah, but none of those guys are the best college basketball players ever play,
Got a whole lot of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre news.
A whole lot.
They
did I saw an hour-long panel they gave yesterday. I actually recorded it.
Did you really?
Well, I was recording all of the NFL media stuff all day, and that was just one of them I saw was recorded. Anyway, what did they do?
Well, there's so many stories to come up here with this one. In fact, it's kind of weird. So, did you actually watch the Dr. Dre presser?
No, I mean I saw they were doing it.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I know I recorded it though.
Oh, it is so fascinating.
Really? How so?
Oh, yes. Because Dre just flat out came out there and was telling people how. All right, so here, can I just go verbatim with what Dre said?
I would love it if you did. Quote.
Dr. Dre wanted to make sure everybody knows that this year's Super Bowl performance is not done by the Illuminati one. He didn't say that, but, remember yesterday that story about the crazy people?
So he didn't talk about the Illuminati?
No, he came out and said, look, Me and Snoop had to talk Eminem from pulling out his junk. He wanted to do it on stage. He wanted his own Janet Jackson moment. But don't worry, I talked him out of it. He ain't going to pull out his junk. But don't be surprised if 2 Chainz and Snoop are smoking a blunt during the performance. So no, you will not see Eminem pull out his thing, but you might see Snoop Dogg and 2 Chainz smoking a blunt during their performance. What is more relieving to you, not having to see Eminem, or is it more exciting to actually see dudes smoking a blunt during the Super Bowl halftime?
I am already getting visions of talking about that for like 3 weeks after it happens.
Dude,
not you and I necessarily, but just the world. You know what I mean? Because against FCC regulations, we should point out this is on network television. You're not allowed to smoke tobacco on network television.
What?
You're not allowed to smoke tobacco. Or even
actually.
show yourself doing it. So this is just going to result in a...
Well, they're not going to be smoking tobacco. They're going to be smoking weed.
I understand, but I could see there being a cacophony of repercussions after something like this happens.
Shocking. Do you want to hear something
Not
crazy?
to them. I don't think they'll get in trouble at all. But it would just be like the whole FCC deal. People are going to be talking about the controversy. Let's change the rules, blah, blah, blah. Because we have to protect the kids, John.
All right.
We can't let kids see people smoking, of course. Because then they're going to not only smoke, they're going to murder people.
No.
Yeah, no, it's a chain of events, you see.
Okay. Oh, cause and effect.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Got
so
you.
they see people smoking marijuana on television. Next thing you know, they're all murdering people. That's the youth of America.
The youth of a nation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, do you want to hear something weird about FCC since you brought up the FCC complaints?
Yeah.
Which Super Bowl do you believe had the most FCC complaints during his halftime show?
Paul McCartney.
No. Dude.
Michael Jackson.
No.
Prince.
No.
The Weeknd.
I thought you would say the Janet Jackson exposing her breast.
Well, that's too obvious. I thought there was no way that was the answer.
It's not the answer.
Okay, so why would I say that?
Shockingly, when J-Lo and Shakira back in
that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Dude, when they tore it up. No, I thought that was that was just 2 years ago.
Yeah,
wasn't
2
it?
years ago, the one before the Weeknd.
They got 1,300 FCC complaints because they said that most of the complaints were, we don't need to see 2 women grinding on each other.
Yeah, no, I hate that. Yeah. Yeah,
Proves.
two women grinding on each other.
I know.
Please.
And by the way, it's J-Lo and Shakira.
Yeah, please. No, thank you. That's what I say. 2 beautiful women dancing on stage. No, thank you. No, thank you.
But
Not for me.
don't worry, everybody. We will see no Eminem exposure.
That's what they say right now.
Allegedly.
I would actually love to see that. That would be hilarious.
I did tell you that Drake.
Would you rather see them smoking 2 blunts on stage, or would you rather see Eminem's junk?
The blunt.
I would rather see Eminem's junk.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what?
That would be hilarious, man.
Again,
that would be the funniest thing I've ever seen. On network television, they don't
strokes
leave it out.
for different folks, buddy.
I don't want to stroke it. I didn't say anything about that.
No. I know what you mean. I can't breathe. By the way, you know why I can't breathe?
Why?
Because you're funny, and I think I ate a gummy this morning. I ate a Hometown Hero, 100 milligrams of Delta 8. You know where I got it from?
Where?
Hemp 2.0, baby. And let me tell you something. It's just a little make me smile a little bit more. Make me realize how beautiful Friday is. Because if it's lifestyle health, if it's wellness, you need to check out hemp, and you need to go talk to the knowledgeable staff out at Hemp 2.0. Again, they're out there on Houston Levee. It's very easy to find. You can go to shophemp20.com and check it out. They have over 100 different brands. They have things that are absolutely out of control. But their staff can tell you if you're struggling from inflammation pain or arthritis, if you're having restless nights, they have something for you, whether it be a tincture, a topical, maybe a roll-on, gummies, vape carts, or they also have some flour. My goodness, they have some great flour, especially the flour by Herb. Holy cow. It's in 7-gram little I call them little egg cartons because it's so beautiful. You can see the flour. It's out of control, beautiful, and it smokes even better than it looks. It's THCO, caviar flour coated with keef. Tell me that doesn't just sound like a lot of fun. And guess what else is nice about Hemp 2.0? They're fighting the pandemic. Did you know, according to Oregon State, the Beavers that is, they did in their super COVID lab they have out there in Beaverville, They came out there and said, we found out that CBDA, both prevent the COVID. I'm going to sound like I'm smart. The COVID virus from spike proteining your body. That sounds about right? So we're gonna knock it out. Why? Because you're gonna get full spectrum. Where are you gonna get it at? At Hemp 2.0. They also have a new line of Delta 9 gummies. You need to go check them out. Happy Fruit. Everything out there is absolutely amazing. That is Hemp 2.0, 3670 South Houston Levee Road, or shop online at shophemp20.com. Coming back on the other side, a little T-Money and a little Brasky. I wonder what these guys are doing for the big game. Well, we're going to find out on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain bring you Sports 56 Grind Time. Brought to you by Poultry Power. Weekdays from 1 to 3 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
So we all know you can get everything you need at a grocery store, but why would you pay more for lesser quality meat? At Louis Deli and Meat Market in Arlington, you're not only going to see the quality in their meats, but you will literally taste the quality in every single bite. Plus, more than likely, pay less. And that's really important nowadays. Got to get together? Fire up that grill with their handmade garlic sausages or jalapeno and cheddar bratwurst. Or how about a hand-cut bacon wrap filet or top sirloin? The absolute best. Or if you want to know how to improve your outdoor grilling, pick up some of Louis' fresh ground beef or maybe their hand-cut ribeye or New York strip. Louis has literally everything for your grill, from barbecue rubs, sauces, charcoal, and so much more. And Louis Deli and Meat Market only carries the finest deli meats and 19 cheeses. And I guarantee you they make the best deli sandwiches in the area. So visit Louis Deli and Meat Market, located in Arlington at 11695 Highway 70, just north of a mile east of Highway 385. Is locally and veteran owned. Is Louis Deli and Meat Market. It's the quality you can see and taste.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The NFL season all comes down to this: Super Bowl 56 with the Rams taking on the Bengals. To celebrate, FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking up all customers with a risk-free same-game parlay. New and existing customers can place any same-game parlay of 3 legs or more on the Super Bowl, and if you don't win, FanDuel will refund you. Already have an account? Just place your risk-free same-game parlay before the Super Bowl to qualify. New customers join today with promo code CASH to enjoy 56-1 odds on either team to win the Super Bowl. You can turn a $5 bet into $280 cash. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, must be 21 and older, present in Tennessee. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
It's a new year. That means it's time for a floor model sale at Family Leisure. You can help Family Leisure make room for all the new 2022 products that are coming in. All floor models are priced to move right now. If it's on the floor, it's on sale. But you better hurry to get these special savings, because once these floor models are gone, folks, they're gone. We're talking theater seating, massage chairs, arcades, foosball and hockey tables, all on sale. Shuffleboard tables, pool tables, they're on sale too. Plus, there's so much more on sale, and you can get New Year's deals on spas and swimming pools as well. Family Leisure needs the room for new inventory. So what's here has got to go. You can help them. The floor model sale is happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together. Happy New Year from our good friends at Family Leisure.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy, Johnny Radio. Got Jay Morgan Harder in the house. We're about to talk with T-Money and Brasky. That's right. We got to find from parts unknown. I don't know where they're at today. I'm sure there's a little drinking, probably some Tito's going on, probably a little gambling. If I'd have to suspect, guess. But do you want to know something that's sad, Jay?
What's that?
I just found this out. Did you know there's a new it is a Playboy documentary. Have you seen it about Hugh Hefner?
No. I actually did hear about this, though.
Holy cow. He used to date these twins, Carissa and Christina. They were both twins. They started dating them when they were 19 years old.
Twins with each other, or they just both happen to be twins separately?
No. Like, they're actually really twins.
Yeah.
But they were his girlfriend, and they came out and said in this, put it this way. They basically said that this is what I can't believe this. They said Hugh Hefner was the devil and had a black soul, that he doesn't have he's void of like caring about anybody else other than himself. Whoa.
I am shocked.
Whoa.
Yeah, who would have guessed that?
Whoa. Shocking. Yeah, you know what? It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
probably.
kind of, a little bit, yeah.
By the way, I'm just glad that we won't see Eminem during the halftime show. Thank you, Dr. Dre.
No, we will see Eminem.
We will see Eminem perform. We
but
will
not little Eminem. Not little Eminem.
Not his little Eminem. So I'm very glad for that. But it's time to talk some prop bets. It's time to talk about the big super duper 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 big game with T-Money and Uncle Brasky. T-Money, how are you doing today, sir?
Good, Johnny. We're doing good. You know, the phone service last week, it went out. When you're from parts unknown, you never know what's going to happen if there's a half an inch of ice here in town, okay?
Man, I do get that. I do get that. My man T-Money. And by the way, Uncle Brasky, Bill Brasky, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing great, Johnny. Doing great. Just living the dream, man. Just living the dream.
You've been 3-0, by the way. Do you know that your money line plays, your last 3 money line plays that you've put out, you're 3-0? I mean, do you realize that?
I understand.
Absolutely.
That's what I do, Johnny.
Look, you don't have time. You know, you guys are working and doing and this and that and all through the week. All Uncle Brasky and I got to do is look at these lines. We do the hard work while you're at work.
That makes
Isn't that
a lot
right,
of
Uncle
sense.
Brasky? I mean, makes sense.
That's exactly right. We've been studying this till my head's about to explode. I already had a problem with my head, but now it's really bad.
Man, dude, tell me, have you been looking at the props?
How's that head from after last night, Uncle Brasky? He was down there at the Gold Strike, weren't you? At the kiosk.
We were down there at the sports book having a good time.
Did you hit any hard fours?
A matter of fact, I hit a couple of 11s and 12s. I did walk away with some good cash last night. I was playing that $25 11 and 12 every roll.
Every time, baby, getting 11 and 12, 11 and 12. Uncle Brasky liked that 11 and 12.
Well,
down there at the MGM.
I love it. Now, I need to know what's going to get me my win, and I'm going to ask both of you all this question. T-Money first, then Mr. Brasky. I think that I'm a genius. Did you see about the last 20 Super Bowls, okay? 18 times out of the last 20 times this bet is hit. Do you know what the percentage is? That is a 90% chance of hitting this bad boy over the last 20 years.
I'm glad you knew because I went to city school. I couldn't have done that. math in my head.
Well, it's 90% hitting, and you know what it is? It's the opening kickoff. Will the opening kickoff be a touchback, or will it be returned? I found out that there's only one ball that is not a kicking ball, and that's the first kick in the big game because they take it to Canton. So it's hard. They haven't got to massage it and rub it and get all that love. Plus, the people are amped up and ready to roll. So when they catch it and they're not too deep in the end zone, they're rolling this junk out. Are you riding with me? Even money that the ball will be returned on the opening kickoff.
Yeah,
I like that, Johnny.
absolutely.
I'll ride with you on that.
I love
Absolutely.
that.
I didn't know that they wasn't a kicking ball.
Yep, it is not. It will go right to Canton. It's brand new. They just opened it up out of the package, like I think 30 seconds before the coin flip, bing, bang, boom. You don't even have a chance to, like I said, you can't even rub some dirt on it. So we're going with that. What kind of love do you have for me today?
Oh, Johnny, I got some love. Now, like you said, we are 3-0 on our last 3 money line bets, okay? And remember now, I don't know your bankroll any more than you know mine, okay? So bet responsibly. All right, we are riding. We're just going to ride them, baby. We're taking the Bengals money line in the Super Bowl plus 170.
Whoa. So
Bengals money line, you don't need the 4. It's already coming down off 4.5. Go ahead and get your value at the money line plus 170. Now, Uncle Brasky and I, we have been doing this for a while now, and we have put our head around this. Uncle Brasky?
Yes, sir.
Tell them how we arrived at this.
Well, I think we just flipped a coin. I don't know how we arrived at it. I asked you, I said, are you sure, Monty? And he goes, this is it. It's a play. I mean, he's backing it. I said, man, you come with the money line play, I'll come with the prop.
I like it.
Exactly.
I like it. So we got a money line play on the Bengals. We figured this out by a coin flip, and the fact that I know you guys y'all been riding Joe Burrow hard. From what
We've been riding him. We've been riding him like a horse. We've been riding him.
So it's kind of hard to jump off that horse when he's been paying for you. Now, what kind of prop bets you got, Mr. Brasky?
All right, what we got, Johnny? We've got Joe Burrow over 1.5 touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
Over 1.5 touchdowns. I like that.
That's easy money. That's too easy.
Yeah.
I think that's easy. I mean, Joe Burrow, if you're liking the Bengals to win the game, Joe is going to have to be on Joey B's arm. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd be catching balls. Heck, Mixon might even catch a little swing pass out of the backfield and run it for a touchdown.
You know it.
Exactly.
I love it. I like a little screen pass to keep that defensive line honest. Could go big play.
All right. I like it. Is there anything else? We got a money line on the Bengals plus 170. We have Joe Burrow over 1.5 touchdown passes. T-Money, Mr. Brasky, anything else?
We got Matthew Stafford. Take the over 36.5 passing attempt.
Whoa. Is it really that high? 36.5?
He's going to be throwing it. Absolutely.
Woo. He's going to be chunking it.
I think that's a low number. I thought it should have been 40. I was kind of shocked when it came out.
I don't know. For some reason, I just have a feeling that you're going to see a heavy dose early in the game of Cam Akers and Sony Michel. I don't know why, man. You've
got two stingy defenses. They're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah, you're right.
I agree.
And Eli Apple was weak.
They're throwing it.
All right, so we got Matthew.
Money.
Go ahead.
Did you want to get on Johnny about saying we drink too much?
Well, yeah, I was going to address that. We don't really have any plays. We just need to address something about the 12-step program that you said Uncle Brasky needs to get to. Now, look, the 12-step program, the only program that Uncle Brasky has ever had to go to was court-ordered, so he didn't really appreciate that, so I'm going to stick up for him a little bit. Uncle Brasky?
Well, now, I really, to be honest with you, I did go to one time while I was trying to I worked for this company, and I told my doctor to send in a note, taking me off work for a year so I could collect this disability I had. And he put on there anxiety. He didn't write the letter like I wanted him to write it. So they suggested I go to this self-help group, and I did go to that, and it was only like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from like 9 to noon. But I met the dumbest guy that I ever met in the world in that program. The first day I show up, go in there, guys sitting there talking, they're, what's your problems? And he starts talking about, well, his wife's running his business now, and he gets $10 a day. And I'm thinking, man, this guy's got a gambling addiction or something. I don't know. We get $10 a day. I mean, hell, he smoked. That's $5 of your dollars. So, I mean, he didn't even have enough for a sandwich. But anyway, after the meeting's over, they kind of wanted you to pair up. And I asked him, I said, what are you doing here, man? He goes, well, I'm a sex addict. I went, well, why do you only get $10? He said, well, my wife, she kind of controls everything now. So anyway, I didn't want to sit next to the guy again. So I made sure I was late the next time. And he had me a seat saved by him when I got there. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want this guy feeling me up or do anything like that. I don't know what he's going to do.
Now,
So,
that
lo
doesn't
and
sound
behold-
like Bill W. and Dr. Bob's 12-step program.
Uncle Brasky, what does that have to do with your alcoholism?
Well, I'm getting to that if you wait a minute. But anyway, I tell the guy, I said, what exactly did you do? And he said, well, I was running around with a stripper on my wife, and I finally told on myself. And I said, what did you? He said, I checked myself in a place for 3 months. He said, I wanted to save my marriage. I said, your wife, you're already divorced. Her and her mom are running your business. They're stealing you blind. You're 15 weeks behind this thing. He never came back to the program. So I guess it fixed him,
Well, my goodness. All I know is y'all are so much fun. We are taking the Bengals on the money line plus 70. Joe Burrow over 1.5 touchdowns. Matthew Stafford over 36.5 pass attempts. And we all know that there is a 12-step program out there for everybody. Be blessed, T-Money. Be blessed, Brasky. Y'all have a great one.
Johnny. Have a good, Johnny.
Those are the two funniest dudes I know. We got to take a quick break, but before we do, I have to remind you, if you need to sell your home, like if you take Uncle Brasky and T-Money's picks, you lose, like they probably will. Now, some of them are going to hit. I kind of like a couple of them. But let's just say you lose everything. Well, do me a favor. Don't lose it all. Call 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It is as simple as that. That's 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. That's right. My buddy Bill picks up the phone call anytime. He's like, yeah. Bing, bang, boom. 5 days later, you got your cash. Get your cash in a flash. Call Bill at I Buy Houses. We'll be back in 2 shakes to close out this Friday. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
You have opinions?
The knowledge that I have matters.
We want to hear them. Call or text us on the AutoZone listener line at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone listener line at 901-360-8255.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Mount Moriah Auto Sales. What sets them apart? Great selection, quality, high-end to low-end cars, and low mileage. Mount Moriah Auto Sales is under new management. Ask for Emmett or Steven. Check out their great selection of cars or trucks. Choose from Dodges, Jeeps, Fords, GMCs, Infinitis, Porsches, Range Rovers, Lexus, Mercedes, BMWs, even Bentleys. Mount Moriah Auto Sales also has a great service department with 12 bays for everything from oil changes to alignment to new tires. Go to MountMoriahAutoSales.com. Pick out your like new car or truck today. Mount Moriah Auto Sales, right on the corner and right on the price.
It's all net. It's through the goalpost. It's a line drive over the center field fence. It's in the cup for a birdie. Your house has closed. All great things to hear, but you need real athletes to have success, or a realtor with fine-tuned business abilities to get you to the closing table with what you want when you want it. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, and my clients have told me that I am that type of real estate athlete. My goal is to not only fully protect my clients, but to also have a winning transaction. I adapt to whatever the field conditions are: rain, sleet, snow, bad inspections, low appraisals. Whatever happens, I'm on it. That's why people often say that when you want the job done, call Shell Done. Find out about my highly successful strategic marketing program with the Shellbucks option, and you will want me to be your point guard, your leadoff hitter, or your quarterback. I'm reachable at 682-1868 or MemphisRelocate.com. That's Shell Done Rosengarten, 682-1868 or MemphisRelocate.com. Do it now.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios, grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers, everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Thanks. We've had a very busy day out there. Thanks to Jay Morgan Harder for, what is he doing? What'd you do today?
Not much.
Not much.
You did all the heavy lifting today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We had Cope on. That was great. Lee Sterling on. Got his picks ready to go. I loved how he not only did he tell us how he handicapped the national anthem, he went in depth and told us exactly what he looked at in order to come to that conclusion.
Dude, YouTube videos out there, man. She's gone over the 130 mark. It's going to be this is going to be, and that was a fast set, like he said. Go over in the national anthem. Also, go under 24 points, I think, in the first half. 24 points in the first half. Over Joe Burrow running 10.5 yards for the football thingy. You know what I'm saying?
For the football thingy.
You know, like rushing for the quarterback guy. But, yeah, I think Joe Burrow definitely, I like over 10.5 yards. I still think I love my opening kickoff. Will it be returned or a touchback? I say it is going to be a return because the ball's hard.
I've told everybody that will listen to me about that prop bet.
I'm telling you, I'm all over this junt. Now, if I do lose this bad boy and y'all want to find me, where's your address?
There's still good bets even if they lose, John.
True that. Now, we talked with Cope, though, and he broke down everything about what his experience were like when he actually played in the National Football League, what it was like playing in the big game, back in the day with Talley and Smith and Kelly and all those Buffalo Bills, Thurman. Oh, my goodness. They were ballers. It was a great experience. I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl. I'm fired up to see what goes on the field on Sunday, but I do want to remind you, maybe your house is a little messed up. You know why? We had this thing called an ice storm. I saw trees all over the place. If a tree fell on your house, if a limb fell on your house, if you have a claim, there's only one person to call. 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. Call Brian Elder Roofing. That's right. He's your Memphis roofing repair professional. He's the #1 commercial and residential roofing contractor in the Mid-South, period, end of discussion. It's a fact, Jack. Lock it up. He's the best. He's the Joe Burrow of roofing. That's right. No questions asked, warranty guaranteed. Of course, he's licensed, bonded, and insured. And you can go check him out online at brianelderroofing.com. You know we got a little beef out there in the world, right?
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
That's a Wendy's, right?
This is, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Man, look at you, commercial weirdo. I like commercials too. I love the SoFi commercial. I like the money dance.
I got my something on. I don't remember the first
Yeah,
part.
but you're doing it. You know what?
I do my money dance. Anyway, John, there's beef.
Now there's beef, and you know who the beef's with? Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
It's
Tell me.
with Snoop Dogg. We talked about Snoop Dogg is going to light up a blunt with 2 Chainz during the halftime of the Super Bowl.
2 chains, 4 bracelets.
2 Chainz, 4 bracelets, 1 blunt. But guess what? Snoop Dogg, for being a pothead, guess what? He's not happy. Because you know he's a big Lakers fan, right?
Loves the Lakers.
Loves them. Man, he came out there and dismantled Anthony Davis. Just talked about how he ain't nothing, blah, 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 goes on. Then he made fun of Anthony Davis, and he said because Snoop was kind of being critical of Anthony Davis's play. And this Lakers team has been trashed. They are 9th in the West right now. They do have LeBron and AD. They brought in Russell Westbrook. Nothing is working. But you know what? Only one person unfollowed Snoop on Instagram.
AD.
Yep.
Wow.
AD came out and unfollowed him, and then Snoop
deleted all the music off his phone.
Yep,
Anything by Snoop, he was out with it.
And and Snoop let his feelings be known. He basically said, Anthony Davis, you are I can't say the words that he said.
Oh,
shockingly.
Wow. That's a shame.
Yes, I will not be able to. But Snoop will be doing.
Just put bleeps in where you're supposed to.
Lots of bleeps. No, it's just bleep,
bleep.
There's
too many bleeps.
Bleep, bleep.
That's a shame.
Calling him
a bleep.
He's telling him how he's way too big to be playing like a little bleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going after him.
Snoop went in.
Sounds like you, John.
Well, let me tell you something. That obviously the NBA is not paradise like everybody thinks it is. Because Snoop's attacking Anthony Davis. And did you hear about the James Harden, Kyrie Irving situation? And then also KD last night?
Well, Kyrie was like, well, it's not my place to tell him what to do or ask him to stay or do anything like that. And then KD on the broadcast, that was pretty funny.
That was funny. KD would not pick James Harden. In fact,
well, he needed size, John. He needed size. Yeah, he needed Gobert. Got to have that size.
Yeah, that was funny. So with the very last pick, LeBron was able to just get James Harden.
He gonna play?
Like unbelievable. But that was funny stuff. But this is even funnier. So the trade, right? Everybody knows it. 76ers got rid of Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Jay's favorite, Andre Drummond.
Well, I mean, you're like the first person I've heard even mention him in the trade, so he must just be a throw-in piece.
Oh, hush.
Yeah, no one cares about him.
James Harden, by the way, he's out of Brooklyn. Again, he's going to Philly. They're all going to Brooklyn, a little switcheroony. But here's what we found out. So according to, let's say, some insiders, they didn't put their name out there. They came out there and basically said, you have no idea how weird it was. I'll never forget. In Cleveland, January 17th. We're in the locker room before the game. Kyrie Irving lit ablaze some sage, a Native American ritual Irving has embraced to cleanse the negative energy in the building.
Remember he did that when he went to Boston. He did it all throughout the arena.
Kyrie doesn't, do this before every game, but he apparently still had some...
just whenever there's bad juju in the arena.
Had some bad feels going back into Cleveland, so he started doing his thing. And they said that James Harden was looking at him as if he had 3 heads and was just staring at him like, check out this. You know what I'm saying? You know what the rest of that is?
A bleep.
Check out this. Yeah. Check out this. Are you kidding me? Man. So basically also heard Harden a few times say, dude, he's definitely weird. And we just don't vibe. So Harden and Kyrie didn't work out together.
They didn't vibe. Is that a shocker to you? No.
Not really me either. You know what is a shocker?
What?
That you don't look that great today because I've been telling you about 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. Frontier Western Store, they don't play no games. Instead of coming in here in some grubby shoes, you could go and look at the largest boot selection in the history of the world. You can see it from outer space. It's so big. That's right, Frontier Western Store. They're down in Olive Branch. They're open 9 to 7 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 6 on Sunday. Or you can shop 24/7, 365 at frontierwesternstore.com. They're family-owned and operated since 1967. Oh, it's awesome. They got jeans from Ariat to Wrangler. Ladies, don't worry. They got Miss Me and Girly Girl. And then also a beautiful kids department. So you can shop from everybody. Small, big, tall, old, young, male, female. They got you covered. Check them out again at frontierwesternstore.com. Jay, you're taking the Rams, correct?
That's right.
Are you laying the points?
I am.
Guess what, people? Looks like Cope, looks like me, looks like Jay. We're all in the Rams. T-Money and Brasky, they're on the Bengals. Get out there, make the world a better place. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.